everyone, it's November, and in Canada, it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Statistics Canada has said that over 40% of women have reported experiencing domestic violence with their intimate partners. And in immigration, this can be even higher because of the imbalance of power that immigration sometimes creates. With me today, we have Erin Levitsky, who is a lawyer at our firm, who helps many people who have experienced domestic violence in their lives. Erin, could you sort of tell us some of the situations how immigration can really contribute towards domestic violence?
Sure. So some common situations that we see that are very difficult for our clients are when someone is going to be sponsored by their spouse and they're relying on the fact that they are in a genuine relationship with that spouse as the basis of their application. However, that relationship has now become violent or abusive. And another common situation is when an individual is relying on their spouse's application. So the spouse is a principal applicant and the individual who is a victim of family violence is applying as a dependent family member on that application.
So when that relationship breaks down, oftentimes people can feel that, well, if I leave, then the opportunities can be lost. But IRCC has recently come out with some programs to help victims of domestic violence. Could you speak to some of those programs, Erin?
Sure. So there are some ways to try to extend one's status or to restore lost status. One possibility is to apply for a family violence temporary residence permit or a TRP. And with that application, an individual can also apply for a work permit, so they will be able to restore lost status and work in Canada, and it also gives them access to health care. Another option is to do permanent residence application on humanitarian and compassionate grounds, and to request for that application to be expedited based on family violence considerations.
And Erin, in terms of the kind of abuse that IRCC recognizes, is it just physical abuse or what other kinds of abuse?
No, thankfully IRCC does recognize that family violence can take many forms. It's not just physical. They recognize that family violence can be sexual abuse, emotional abuse, isolation, neglect, control. They take a broader definition of violence.
That's good to hear. We're going to include some resources in the comments. The Assaulted Women's Helpline, the Barbara Schleifer Legal Clinic, and if you need any advice on immigration, please do not hesitate to contact us. Take care, everyone. You're not alone.